Touch gloves.
It's Malaysia versus Japan. The hometown favourite Suba will look to bring the house down. Rika Shibuya will look to put on a show. We're set for 3 5-minute rounds between two men who have finished 11 opponents. This one brought to you by Bad Lab. Round kicks traded early, and it was Suba who drew the short straw.
Looks like it was just a bit of a slip there by Suba. Immediately back up, starts to measure the southpaw Shibuya.
Spinning hook kick there from Suba, the early acrobatics from the Malaysian. Jab 2 out of southpaw stance from Rika Shibuya. Now against the southpaw, what Suba wants to do, particularly with his long arms, is to work the straight right cross down the center corridor. Put his lead foot on the outside of Shibuya's lead foot to engage that right hand. Shibuya shoots in for a single leg. Good sprawl out there from Gianni Suba. The crowd appreciating the defense. A drilling knee there from Gianni Suba.
Oh, that was a big knee, Michael. I think he caught it flush right on the head. Now Shibuya's got to create movement. He's got to prevent Suba from passing that guard.
The chants go up for Gianni Suba inside the sold-out Stadium Negara in Kuala Lumpur. Wherever you're watching live, 128 countries, over 1 billion people potentially. Hope you're enjoying it just as much as we are.
Suba's trying to flatten out Shibuya as he's trying to work past the half guard. But Shibuya's got a deep butterfly hook on that right side, preventing him from possibly creating any sort of movement. Suba does nice work to get the back of Shibuya.
Gianni Suba predicted he would finish Shibuya in the 3rd round. Shibuya didn't want to make a prediction. The only prediction he said he'd make was that Suba would walk home crying. And indeed, it looks to be Gianni Suba in control at the moment, trying to work for the back clean on Shibuya. But Shibuya trying to roll back into it, looking for a way to get to his feet now. Sits on his knees and pulls Suba down. Now he springs back up, the man from Tokyo.
Nice scrambling by both men. Shibuya did a very good job of avoiding a really dangerous position there as he almost gave up his back. Body lock to the takedown.
Nice clinch and takedown there from Gianni Suba. Top position for the Malaysian again.
Now Suba's trying to press him up against the cage, working to possibly take the back. Shibuya's got a deep single here. Let's see if he can spin him around, but Suba's pretty close to going up, wrapping that leg around and taking his back.
Shibuya said there was nothing about Gianni Suba that fazed him. Said he was going to try and taunt Suba, trying to get inside his head, psych him out, make Gianni open up and become frustrated and leave gaps in his defense. Hasn't worked out for him so far, though.
I like the way Suba's using the cage to get back up to his feet. He's got that whizzer on that one side, but Shibuya sneaks around to the side.
Gianni Suba, the 24-year-old from right here in Kuala Lumpur.
Look how Shibuya's laced that leg up to prevent Suba from popping back up onto his feet. Now he's going to suck that ankle out, try to pull Suba back down to the cage.
You see how the showman, Rika Shibuya, wants Suba on his back here. Ties up those legs of Gianni Suba. What can Shibuya do from here? What are the options, Mitch?
That's exactly it. Look how he's lacing those legs up. He's preventing Suba from going anywhere. He's just, now, but he needs to try to spin him away from his back, away from the cage and get him back onto the mat. You can see him, he keeps that right leg so extended that he can't. Suba, now that's what he does. He pops the leg out, now he's able to get back up to his feet.
The crowd rallying for Gianni Suba. Under a minute remaining in the 1st round. Good knee from Rika Shibuya.
Oh, he's trying to outside trip now. He sneaks around to the back. Suba might give up his back here. He's got to lace that right arm out inside Shibuya's body and turn.
Shibuya is like a carpet all over Gianni Suba. Suba trying to maintain his upright. And you see every time he does that, Shibuya finds a way to wrench him back to the canvas.
Good scramble by Suba to get back up into a dominant position.
Shibuya going to look for a guillotine here to no avail. Suba slips the head out. Overhook on the left arm here from Riku Shibuya. Knee to the front of the thigh to that quadriceps area from Suba. Not really digging in the patella, however. Final 10 seconds of the opening stanza. Certainly been a battle of wills between two very experienced martial artists.
Nice,
there we go.
Spinning elbow there, Michael, to end the round by Suba as the crowd reacts. Interesting first round. Lots of back and forth action between these two athletes. Here's that wonderfully timed knee on the takedown attempt. Actually, here it comes. He's trying to, Suba extends the leg, and bingo, with a beautifully timed knee that did a lot of damage to Shibuya as these two trade. Here's that clinch exchange where Suba was able to trip into the top position. Rich, when you looked at that round, how did you score it?
Look, there were a lot of scrambles in that round. It was actually quite difficult to score. Suba earned a couple takedowns in that round, and you can see Shibuya actually, like when you were talking about him lacing the legs, these techniques that he was doing that shows this high-level grappling on the ground. But I found that Suba was in control of the ground more often, dictating where the fight was going, so I have him ahead on the scorecards.
We're about to roll into round number 2. Sellout crowd inside of Stadium Negara, and they are loving every moment. It's one championship quest for greatness from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Thought about a spinning technique to open up to Shibuya, the showman from Tokyo. Trained in Honolulu for 6 weeks with Rylan Lazares in preparation for this one. And he's switching stance early here. Good hook to an outside leg kick there from Shibuya.
Shibuya has a very unorthodox stand-up technique. He's constantly changing stances, and you can see that foot battle that you spoke about earlier, Michael, how they're always looking to place their lead foot on the outside of their opponent.
As part of Shibuya's preparation, he does a very strict meditation program to build, as he says, his spiritual power, in addition to building his physical power. Inside leg kick from Gianni Suba. The Malaysian fires out a front kick. Wide stance here on Suba, and he shoots in on it to Shibuya. Double leg, gets a takedown. You see Suba trying to post up on that left arm.
He immediately laces up the legs to limit any movement from Suba. So now he's going to try to suck the hips away from the cage so Suba's not able to walk up and stand back up.
If you are Suba here, Mitch, what are you trying to do?
You're trying to get your legs away from Shibuya's legs. You see how he's constantly trying to pull his legs out from between Shibuya's legs so he can use his feet to stand back up and get this fight back up to his feet.
Shibuya wants Suba on his back again. Suba refusing to go there at the moment. You wonder how much energy Riku Shibuya is exerting in trying to get another takedown here on Gianni Suba.
They're both expending a lot of energy in these exchanges because not only is Shibuya trying to keep the fight to the ground, but Suba's trying to get back up, and they're both exerting a lot of power. Look at that. Beautifully done wizard top control from Suba to stay on top.
And now Gianni Suba, top position. What can he do from here? Looks to pass to side control, maybe gets a half guard.
He's starting to pass, but Shibuya gets back into full guard, starts transitioning, starts moving those hips. Looking for a possible Kimura sweep there, goes back to the head.
Between August 2009 and October 2013, Shibuya went on a brilliant 12-fight winning streak that led him to get signed by one championship. Accidental there. Intriguing second round of action here between Malaysia's Gianni Suba and Japan's Riku Shibuya. Two men that are really negating each other because of their extensive experience, Mitch, in a lot of what they're doing.
Yeah, it looked like that. I didn't quite see it, but there's... Oh, yep, that was it. You can just hear the crowd react to a very tender shot. About 50% of the crowd, which seems to be males, kind of reacted to that quite well. Rich, how is this injury timeout going? What's the deal with it?
Once Yuji actually pulls a stop to the fight, there's the injury timeout comes. They'll actually stop time. We have 5 minutes for the injured athlete to recover. basically given the entire duration of the round. This didn't look like a heavy blow to the groin or anything like that. I assume that Suba will be able to continue. Here's another look at the groin shot.
Just to make sure everybody understands exactly what went on, that's the shot right there that is leading to a halt in the action.
Lots of oohs and ahs and gnashing of teeth from the audience here in Stadium Nagara, but we're about to get back underway. Gianni Suba is okay. Rico Shibuya. Jab 2 from Suba. Jab 2 again from him, the boxing. Then the high right roundhouse kick. Spinning back kick, Uchido Geri, they call it in karate. Nice combination, the old 2-3 there from Gianni Suba. The Malaysian has the reach over the Japanese. Mawashi Geri there from Riku Shibuya. Roundhouse kick, double forearms guard to catch it from Suba. Shibuya with a takedown attempt off a single leg reach.
Beautifully done by Riku Shibuya to capture that single leg, suck it in, and immediately he starts to lace up the legs to keep Suba from popping back up. So you can see here, he's got one leg out, one leg extended. Shibuya's gonna try to tie them both up, really control the position. Yeah, start pulling those hips away, but Suba is so tough and keeps popping back up.
You see Rylan Lazarus in the background there, giving the instructions to Riku Shibuya. Surprisingly, giving them in English. He says that Riku does understand enough to get what he's saying. Takedown there from Gianni Suba, and the crowd responding. They like that from the Malaysian.
Beautiful outside trip from Suba. He immediately spins him to the side to prevent Shibuya from getting back up to his feet and using the cage like he was doing earlier.
Elbow strike from Gianni Suba to the body of Shibuya. Half guard position for the Malaysian. Remember, Suba said he would finish Shibuya in the third round. Big knee to the side of the head, and that'll ring your bell. Takes the back now, Shibuya. Tries to wrap around the neck of Shibuya. Gianni Suba finding a way to lock up a limb here, perhaps, on Riku Shibuya.
That was a beautiful transition from a choke into a rear naked choke into a triangle choke right as Shibuya was spinning around. But Shibuya's now posturing up, sneaks that other hand inside to prevent the triangle from being locked up. Beautiful grappling displayed by Suba.
15 seconds to go in the second round of 3. It's been a thrilling contest. Close guard from Gianni Suba to finish out the second round with Riku Shibuya in top position. One more round to go. The round that Suba says he'll win it in.
It's been a very close fight, Michael. We've seen a lot of back and forth action. I would hate to be a judge in this situation. This fight is so close. Look at that beautiful outside trip, and immediately Suba starts spinning him away from the cage. That is the wisdom beyond his years that I was speaking of. Look at that. Oh, and a wonderfully timed knee in the scramble. Rich, how do you have this fight scored so far?
I tell you, this is a pretty even match. I have a Suba ahead on the scorecards. He's being a bit more aggressive. He's doing better in the takedown category. He's actually defended several takedowns, earned some takedowns himself. But what's the defining factor for me in this fight is that when Shibuya actually ends up in a better position on the ground, lacing the legs, he's not able to do much with it. Suba's actually landing heavy strikes, able to work back to his feet. I shouldn't say heavy strikes, but able to land strikes. At this point, I have him ahead on the scorecards.
Third and final round. My word, if Suba can win it here in the third, he will bring the house down at Stadium Nagara.
Oh, no touch of gloves. Suba doesn't like that. Riku marches forward.
Will they be shouting Malaysia Menang in under 5 minutes time? Malaysia wins. Will they be screaming that here in Stadium Nagara? Southpaw stance on Riku Shibuya. Single leg from Shibuya. Gets the takedown.
That seems to be his takedown of choice. He shoots in for that single leg, sucks it in. But Suba immediately gets his back to the cage. Now he's going to start to wall walk back up.
Very reminiscent of the Sakuraba style low single leg takedown from Riku Shibuya. But looking very patient, unfazed is Gianni Suba. Shibuya still locked on to that single leg. Switches to a double, trying to wrench Suba to the canvas, and Suba posting up on his arm. Doesn't want to be on his back here against Riku Shibuya.
The ground control is definitely inching towards Shibuya in a lot of these scrambles. But Suba's doing exactly what he needs to do to keep this fight really from getting out of control, because Shibuya might be in the proper position, but he's not really doing anything of it. Like Rich Franklin said earlier, he's just able to control the position, let Suba pop back up.
There hasn't been much striking in this contest. It's been mostly a grappling game, mostly a ground game. And the chance go up once again for Gianni Suba.
It's because of the body lock. Shibuya's constantly working that double gable grip body lock to where he's not able to strike. He can't let go, and he's always grinding, moving forward. But a beautiful reversal by
Have a
Suba.
look at this top position now for Gianni Suba. Half guard for the Malaysian. Now inside the guard, feet on hips, creates some distance for Shibuya. And Suba goes after him with the knees, with the hands. Front kick there from Gianni Suba.
Suba's been so effective at the end of these scramblers to exit on a knee. So as soon as he senses a little bit of space, he slides a knee in there.
Shibuya resetting himself, rethinking here. In southpaw stance, throws a two-punch combination. Shoots in for a single, good sprawl out there from Gianni Suba to defend against the takedown.
But did you see the way he transitioned to the other leg immediately? Soon as Suba had that leg extended and Shibuya wasn't able to get it, he transitioned to the other leg, sucks it in, traps it between his legs. But can he do anything with the takedown? That's the question, Michael.
Wrapped up that right leg of Gianni Suba at the moment. 2 minutes 5 remaining. Third and final round of what has been an absolutely thrilling flyweight contest.
You gotta wonder how the judges are seeing this ground control. How are they judging this limitation that Shibuya is trying to impose on Suba?
Mitch, play coach for us here for a moment. If you're in the corner of Suba, what are you telling him to do here?
He's got to slide. See that left leg? He's trying to work it out. He's trying to listen to his coach. You can hear Don Carlos screaming at him as he's trying to get that foot back up. But he's got to push the hips away. He's got to create space.
What would Rylan Lazarus be saying to Riku Shibuya right now?
He's got to turn the hips. He's got to try to turn Suba away from the cage so he can start to advance his position. He's getting the takedown, but the same thing has happened over and over again. Suba is able to slide a leg out and work his way back up to his feet.
Elbows there from Gianni Suba. Crowd liked it. But you see how Shibuya is keeping Suba on the canvas. Yuji Shimada keeps calling for more action. He may well stand them up soon. And he does indeed. Let's see if this augurs well for Gianni Suba. He's got the reach, he's got the length over Shibuya. Can he use it? Shibuya shrugs him off.
These last 45 seconds are going to tell us everything. I think it's anybody's game. A big shot. Oh, just like that.
Low single leg attempt there. Gianni Suba looking to have the back of Shibuya if he can get there. Final 30 seconds of the contest. Elbows again from Gianni Suba. They'll give you a headache. And more from Suba. The Malaysian crowd here in Kuala Lumpur loving every moment of this. He's bringing it home strongly, Gianni Suba. 15 seconds now. Suba glances to his corner. Looks up at the clock of the big screen. Hits a couple of body shots. Right on top of Riku Shibuya. Brings it home to the final bell strongly to Gianni Suba. We go down to the judges here in KL.
5 of Riku Shibuya's past fights have been to a decision. 4 of Suba's past fights have been to a decision. Who will be the judge's favorite tonight? What a close fight. Rich, how did you see it?
I have Suba taking the victory here. He was more aggressive in the fight. You could argue that Shibuya actually won the takedown defense category, but even when he did, Suba was able to control the ground more. He was landing ground and pound and throwing elbows and all that kind of stuff. I thought he was more effective on the feet, and by the end, had more damage accumulated. my opinion, the decision goes to Suba.
You could hear the roar of the crowd for a moment there while Rich Franklin was talking. That's because they put his overall on the big screen here in the arena, and when the crowd saw it, they liked what they saw. They feel that their man, Gianni Suba, will be flying the Malaysian flag victoriously in a few seconds' time. They may be screaming Malaysia Menang in a few seconds' time. We're about to find out. Will it be Riku Shibuya? Will it be Gianni Suba? Let's go to Dominic Lau and find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present the medal for this match, we have Kimmy Wong, Assistant Brand Manager from Bad Lab. And now, after 3 rounds of battle, we turn to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have scored this bout in favor of your winner by unanimous decision from the red corner, Gianni Suba.